Hello and welcome to another episode of the Star Wars Minute. It's your daily podcast in which we analyze, we scrutinize, and we celebrate Star Wars, a solo story, 1 minute at a time. I'm Alex Robinson from alexrobinson.fun.
I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
I'm Al Adam, host of Monday Night Trivia at Barcelona Bar in NYC.
And I'm John, and I live in Westchester.
County.
Welcome back, lads.
Home of the fair.
Welcome back. It's good to see you.
Welcome back to minute 107 of Solo, a Star Wars story.
Mm-hmm.
Minute 107 starts with Han Solo telling Qi'ra that they're going to win.
Hey.
Oh, man, yeah.
And that's a relief. It ends a minute later with Dryden asking Han how he's holding up. Is he doing all right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Such a caring boss.
Vos.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Caring Vos. Yeah.
Such a caring boss.
Horrible bosses.
Vos baby.
So at long last, we are in the elevator.
Yes.
One of the best elevator scenes in cinematic history, from what I'm told.
Very
I got a question. You guys will never guess what my question is.
What's that?
What are some of your favorite elevator scenes? Now, let me follow up. What are some of your favorite elevator scenes? And I have one written down for not for you, Alex, but I have one written down for John and one written down for Adam.
Like
That is my guess
vu.
for what they would,
Oh.
might say, but I could be wrong. I could be stereotyping.
Interesting.
So
I thought I cleared my browser history.
The hot elevators in your area? I don't know what that.
So, come on.
Ups and downs.
Who's going first?
John, you go first since you asked. What's one of your favorite elevator scenes?
This would be funny if you guessed it. It's fresh on my mind because I saw it at the Alamo a couple of weeks ago, but Dark Star has a very good elevator scene.
It does.
Yeah.
That's totally on brand, too.
And, of course, also being a Peter Sellers fan, Revenge of the Pink Panther has a nice elevator scene with a fart, which is great. I still haven't hit what you guessed, right?
No, because I realize now my elevator scene that I wrote for you was more of a pre-elevator scene. None of it takes place inside the elevator. I thought you were going to say the elevators in The Shining gushing blood.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm just really thinking inside.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I missed on that one. Adam,
Way
the
to
one I have
ruin
written
that.
down for Adam, though, is definitely an inside the elevator scene
Yeah, okay.
with James Lipton.
I mean, I'm probably going to go Gremlins too.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
But no, there's also the elevator scene in Hotshots is really good.
You know, is Hotshots streaming anywhere? I've been wanting to see it, I feel like, for like 10 years.
Yeah, both of them are on Hulu.
Are they? All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go watch that. I feel like every time I want to go watch it, it's just like part 2 is available, but part 1 isn't. And I'm like,
That's how I felt about Anchorman. Every time I've never seen either of the Anchorman films.
don't bother.
But now I'm thinking.
That's an
'cause
unpopular opinion, but
if
Sorry,
everybody's
I
like,
know
oh
it's
my
no
God.
Hot Shots.
They're like, hey, you don't like Will Ferrell, but what about Anchorman? And I was like, all right, I'll watch it. And I laughed at like 3 things. And I was just like,
Well, one of the cast members of Hotshots Part 2 was at your wedding, Pete.
oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I should have asked him where to stream it.
So it wasn't, you didn't think Gremlins 2?
Now I thought of it, I might have.
Ooh, I'm curious. Hold on.
Wait, what's
I could
the
be wrong
elevator
about
scene in Gremlins 2?
So they get in the elevator.
Yeah.
All the gremlins are there.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Where it's like going, like she pushes a button and the Gremlins are like saying the floor number and it's like going up. And then they're like,
And she does like,
Oh, yeah.
I think it's voice activated, right? So and then she's like, elevator sound alarm. And they're like, bah, 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 bah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one.
I don't know why I missed that. I love that one. But.
I'm going to be mad that I'm forgetting or not even saying this one.
Could be wrong, but for some reason I associate it with you. I wrote the elevator scene from Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. It's one of the only scene that I remember from that movie, pretty much, which is an awesome.
Yeah,
scene.
when they have them all swaying.
Yeah.
That moment, and for some reason when they're with Toad in jail and he just sings two brothers from another dimension. That's all I have in my head when I think of that dimension.
Hello, Toad. I'm in jail. I like it here. It's nice.
You think they'll have Chris Pratt in the elevator?
Maybe as a little tribute.
Yeah.
I'll have Johnny Legs come out and be like, "You look familiar."
Yeah.
They got to have the boots.
Trying to think of an elevator scene for Alex.
Mine are all lame.
I don't know. Is there a scene with like Nixon in an elevator?
Yeah, I was
somewhere?
thinking that movie
I
Dick
wish.
with
I just watched that. No elevator scenes, unfortunately. Well, the first two I thought of were Star Wars.
Oh my God,
elevator scenes.
Okay.
Star Wars. You like Star Wars? I forget about
the
that.
very
sometimes.
first one I thought of is Obi-Wan and Anakin in the elevator in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh
where
man,
they're
so
going to
good.
rescue the. They're going to. These are the ones I thought of, not necessarily the best ones.
Right.
Oh,
The other one, which I do think is
love
good,
Sith.
is and I guess I don't know if it counts as where in Return of the Jedi when the door opens up and Vader and Luke are standing there going to see the Emperor. The door opens and like Luke kind of looks around. I think of that every single time I'm in an elevator and the door opens up and I look around just like Luke Skywalker.
I'll add the elevator scene from Star Wars, the motion picture, where they get in and there's like, I can't see a thing in this helmet, that whole deal, and then the doors open on the other side and they're startled by. I think of that every time I get into an elevator with two doors. It's like
interesting.
Luke Skywalker being like,
Two doors.
Two doors.
There were 2 doors where we played basketball.
2 doors.
The Avenue School.
Right.
And there were tutors.
I live in a 2-door.
There you go.
And that's it. That's
Man, two door.
I got
Well,
I got a good one. I got a real good one.
All right.
Midnight Madness.
Oh yeah, sure.
One of my favorite movies
And that's
ever.
like part of the plot too.
Yeah.
It's, the whole thing. They got to
It's
get in the elevator.
At the end, and they're stuck in the elevator, and they open it with his retainer. That's a good elevator scene.
It is.
I will end with Willy Wonka.
There you go.
Ends with a famous elevator scene. Spoiler alert.
Touched all those buttons, but not that one, Charlie.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Do it.
Back to minute 107.
You know, a minute is really good when we're talking about elevator scenes. That
Well, I just my note got uncovered yesterday, so I feel like I should just lead with
yes.
that. But yeah, Han says like, yeah, we're gonna win. It's gonna be great. And
Something about the way he says that just, I don't know. I don't like it.
yeah,
What, like over the shoulder, like it's gonna
Like there's
be
something
good.
about his delivery of it that it's just like, I don't know. Just
Take it as an
feels-
insult.
He's cocky.
he's whining.
Yeah.
We're
And I
gonna
love that
win.
Kira's look is like,
No.
really, dude?
It's the same
You
guy who
still
said,
haven't
like-
learned anything?
Yeah, it's the same guy who said, "I love you." I know.
It's true.
We're gonna win. It's gonna be good. Short round.
Well, so she says it's not that kind of game. The
Right.
object
Yes.
isn't to win; it's to stay in as long as you can.
Mhm.
Are there any games that you know of that are like that?
I had that on my notes too, and I said I thought we would play a fun game. To
Simon
find
Says?
something like that, and the only thing I wrote down was drinking. That's all I got.
Everyone wins when you're
Yeah.
playing drinking games.
That's
first
the
one I
game
thought
that
of-
I just try to stay in as long as I can.
The first one I thought of was Dodgeball, because I feel like Dodgeball is never like, I guess one team wins, but I guess I'm
Right.
always used to being on the other side that's not winning, and the idea is to just not get hit by the ball for as long as you possibly can.
The
So-
idea is to dodge the ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Monopoly, a similar thing. It very seldom comes down to like
True. That's a
a
good one.
proper win. It's usually just like, all right, everyone gives up because this game is going on way too long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the idea. Everybody throw in your favorite game there. Like, no, it's not that kind of a game. You see, where depending on where you settle, you get resources. You could trade those for other settlements or development cards. And she goes off and explains the rules of a complicated game. And Han's sitting there being like, wait a minute, so if I roll, and Chewie is like, yeah, I get it. Chewie gets it immediately.
We'll play a few rounds. It'll become much more
we'll
obvious
pick it
once
up.
we start going.
Right, yeah.
Once we start going, the door opens up and they're all huddled there on the floor. With
Right.
Yeah.
It's like trading.
Chewbacca's like, I managed the game store on Kashyyyk. You know?
yeah.
It was great.
His
never went to
bandoliers.
Game Tree.
Kashyyyk and grounds.
He has all his novelty dice. That's what's in his
totally.
bandolier. It's
Right.
all like,
And he like pulls out like a little like
tokens.
pewter miniature of a orc
Yeah.
out of one of the pockets.
An orc. You think they have orcs in Star Wars?
No.
Do they have morks? No.
But yes, and again, that reminded me, I just half started to say it, but the Cones of Dunshire, that's what I thought of. It's like, it's not that kind of a game. And then
That's what those spires reminded me of outside.
Yeah,
the
that's-
cones,
that's-
cones
I
of
thought that's
Dunshire.
what you were referencing. The cones of
Bringing it back.
Dunshire. Yeah.
What were they? Soul Spikes?
Soul Spikes R&B.
Teeth?
Soul Spikes. What are they? Wait, look in the book.
I have to look in my solo official guide.
Right.
How much do you get paid every time you do that?
He's trying to write it off, so he brings it up as often as he can.
Soul teeth.
Soul
teeth.
Teeth.
That was like a Funkadelic. They did an album called Soul Teeth.
The Barcades, right? They do Soul Finger. And eventually it was successful, so they kept trying to go back and do like, all right, soul knees, hey. All right. And then they kept doing it. They kept going further and further.
Soul knees.
Soul knees. Then they take the elevator. They got to take the elevator to the mezzanine, and they get out, and they talk to
wait, one more thing in the elevator. She says,
sure.
"Well, she says you don't know everything." He says you don't know everything, and then she says just a bit more than you do,
which is great. I like that.
Which is a good. It's a good line. Han Solo throughout the whole movie is a, I guess, refreshingly naive character.
Yeah. Does he learn anything? Like, is he ever gonna, finally learn something?
He does. I think we'll hear about something that he learns.
Yeah,
maybe. Well, no,
we will.
No, we won't.
Well,
yes, we will.
Wait,
no, we won't.
Yes, we will.
Disagreement. I'm going to say no.
I think we're in the wrong week.
I think we're going to hear something about something that somebody else learns. But anyway.
I don't know why you say yes. I say no. Oh no, wait a minute. I don't know why you say no. Anyway, you know what I mean.
Right.
You say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Yes, goodbye.
Before we say goodbye, let's keep going here. We got Then they get up to the top and they take it to the top, just like Motley Crue. They're talking to Dryden. Now, is this the part where they say? They
say that they lost Beckett.
Yes. Yeah. There's where's Beckett?
I'm sorry about Beckett.
And they're like, he didn't make it, which is true. Yeah. Do they lie? Do they say they didn't?
I like how he instantly wait a second, where's Beckett? Right. It's very heavy-handed.
Because he's the guy that they were dealing with, pretty much. Yeah. But then also, yes, we also know that he knows more than we think he knows.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. We know that he knows more than we think he knows.
I think this is the longest this is the start of the longest run of sarcasm I think we ever have in Star Wars, because literally everything Dryden Vos says in this minute and the next minute is all like fake sympathy. He's almost fake,
spit it out for me. How did you do this again? Wonderful.
But
I do say like that. I've never seen such a great acting example of pity or empathy, sympathy mixed with threatening. He's just a threatening guy, right.
And
then like he shows up at a funeral and he's just like, I'm sorry for your loss. And his whole body language too. It's always just like, ugh.
Yeah.
This guy's
those near humans.
Yeah. He's just the guy that, you see him walking towards you like down the street and you're like, just hide your money under a rock or something.
Yeah.
Am I having a vision?
Squeezes me too hard.
Or just run away.
Yeah.
Well, and plus he gives I like it's like, oh, you did it. There you are. You and then he does this weird, it's almost Trumpian where he's just like, everybody said you sucked and you couldn't do it, but I knew you could do it. People are saying you were terrible, but I knew you could do it.
And he's like, who's hungry for hors d'oeuvres? So give me something.
Yeah, I kept the way they zoned in on the hors d'oeuvres or whatever. I was like, wait, did I miss a clue? Did I miss a clue of what was coming in the next couple minutes?
Yeah. Product placement.
Well, you do. You mixed. We'll talk about some hors d'oeuvres. I think. Tomorrow.
I don't think we have hors d'oeuvres yet. Sorry.
Oh, we don't. Oh,
well, they're there, but they're not. They become an issue tomorrow.
Okay. There we go. I'll save that for tomorrow.
I looked up. I'm in the transcript now. Where's Beckett? Beckett didn't make it. Tell me. Job took a bad turn on Kessel. He died saving my life. So they do lie at that point. He didn't die. So if they had just said Beckett didn't make it. Job took a bad turn on Kessel. That's all true. He died saving my life. That's false. So it would
have been great if he was like, how did he die exactly? Arms fell off. And then his foot got stuck.
Well, they would have to do something where Qi'ra and Han both answered something different at the same time, and then they have to combine them into one. He fell off and then landed
off a roof
on
through the trapdoor.
Right.
Well, which is it? Roof or
but it's great. They both say two different things, and then Chewie just lets out this roar, and Dryden's like, "Oh, got it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense."
Oh, we got to reshoot this.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if Han just said Beckett tried to betray us? He wanted to sell it to someone else.
Yeah, I don't know why they lie. Why don't they just say, "Oh, he left"? Is that two?
Well, because they're also trying to cover for him a little bit. Remember, you can't just run away from.
Yeah, that's true.
Crimson Dawn.
They want to give him a fresh start to play his.
So it's like, he died, so they're not going to go looking for him. If they had said like, "Oh, he betrayed us and tried to rob it," they'll be like, "Oh, we'll send men after him."
But even if they weren't doing this even if Beckett wasn't waiting right outside the door, he would eventually find out that Beckett was still alive. And then that seems like it would put you in a bad position to be with Dryden Vos. Like, why did they lie to me about him dying, and now he's here at my door? You know?
Yeah, like even if it did work out, it wouldn't work out.
That's a
you
note
would find
that
out
I
Beckett was
had
alive eventually.
I didn't really place it anywhere specific to this week, but I thought that would be neat if they knew that they had more going. Like if this was we've talked about if this was a show, we've found the breaking points for, when the different episodes of this would be so far, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the episode breaks would be. And if this was a show, and if this was, we're gearing towards the season finale, I think it would be interesting to not. I guess it would have to end completely differently, because you couldn't have Dryden kind of survive. But if he does survive, if they're just like working within. If Han and Chewie are working as smugglers for Crimson Dawn for a while, basically, like if this ruse was successful, and they are working as smugglers for Crimson Dawn every once in a while, and but they have this lie that they're working from. So season 2, they're working for Vos on and off. Vos is the boss. But they have this secret that they're still trying to keep from him. You know what I mean? That would be an interesting thread to pull through for season 2. Like, that they're like they don't
scenes. They push Woody Harrelson into the elevator when he's coming.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
totally.
Like he was not here. He's dead still. And then Woody Allen would.
Beckett? No, Beckett's been dead for a long time. That's
long time.
Shirley. Hello. Yes, I'm Shirley.
Or what if Beckett did die, but they had to convince Dryden Vos that he was still alive, so they had to like carry him around and do a
weekend
whole
at
like.
Beckett's. Good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah. So I like the idea that could continue and be like an ongoing. That's your tension if you're making this into a series. Keep that. That so it's a secret that Qi'ra has and Han has and Chewbacca has, but no. Chewbacca's not letting go with any secrets. And then Beckett. So then maybe the end of season 2, your cliffhanger is that Beckett shows back up. So like what happens here? So like basically I'm saying insert a whole season of TV in between this and the end of the movie. So
can you imagine going to the movies and being like, stay tuned in 6 months for the premiere of.
Yeah.
No, if this was a TV all along, if this is a TV, if Solo, a Star Wars story was like a 5-episode TV show, and then but you're gonna have a season 2, so then you leave some of these threads dangling, and so basically you insert season 2. This ends up with they successfully kind of think they get one over on Dryden Vos, and then at the end, and then so season 2 is more adventures before this culminates. End of season 2. You end up with what we end up with here, with Beckett showing back up, and being like, "You thought you got me." It's happened to you.
A WandaVision type thing where they're
kind of
different kind of TV shows. With, sorry.
Well, those are my notes. Alex, did you have any more?
I just had one last thing to point. We see that blue crystal skull in the background again.
Sure.
And after we learned that interesting stuff about the guy who wrote the Lando Calrissian books, I wanted to look up Brian Daley, the guy who wrote the Han Solo's stories, and nothing quite as scandalous. He co-wrote 20 different Robotech novels. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because there's the guy who wrote all the Robotech books is actually a 2 guys.
Yeah.
What?
Right. So all the Robotech books were written under a pseudonym, which is the joint pen name of 2 guys.
It took Brian 2 Daley people to write them. Yeah.
2 guys.
I wonder if they did like every other word.
His name, like Jack Reacher or something like that. What's the? Anyway.
Lee Childs. Lee Childs is the guy who does Jack Reacher.
No, but the name of the other anyway.
But one thing I thought was kind of interesting is that, and unfortunately, Mr. Daly passed away in 1996. Apparently, he wrote the script for the Return of the Jedi radio drama, and apparently he died just after it was completed. So that was like I think it was put after the celebrations about it being finished. So maybe he died after it was finished, but not actually released. Anyway, we miss him. And,
did he he got drunk on champagne and fell off a roof because he's like, that's done, and got celebrated and like.
Yeah, he landed on one of those spires and he slowly slid down as his body went down.
Or he was talking to like they were like, oh, so now that the Return of the Jedi radio drama script is done, what are you gonna do? It's like, well, I think I might retire, go get a nice cantina somewhere, or go play. Yeah,
or maybe he was celebrating with his writing partner. They got really drunk. His writing partner killed him.
Oh, there you go.
Tragedy of Brian Daly the Wise.
It's like Coco. Jack McKinney. That's the name. That's the pseudonym. All the robots.
So then, wait. So he kills him, and then he goes, "And that's all we wrote."
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Jack McKinney. How do you come up with a? I wonder how people come up with their bland pseudonyms like that.
Yeah.
Jack McKinney.
You've been. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think if you go too far, if you're like Knife Wolfberg, your people are going to be like, come on, like that's not
Well, so I mean, it sounds like a trip. If I'm browsing through the titles and I see one that's by Jack McKinney and one guy named Wolf Sword Grab, like that's the one I'm going to be more like, oh, what the heck is that?
I'm not
a
good
wolf
at
wrote
swords.
a
I
book.
know how to grab them. Yeah.
Well, but I think, you want a bland name to be under. A licensed property like that.
You don't want to call attention to,
but he did, exactly. But I guess, because it was just him. I was like, he did Star Wars under his own name, but because that's just him. Yeah. I think they should have just done anything that the two of them did individually or together, they should have done under Jack McKinney. And then you unearth like, oh, wow, all those books, some of them are written, it's like Lennon McCartney. It's this blanket for like, well, this one is mostly Brian Daly. The Han Solo books are all Brian Daly. Very little James Luceno in there.
You know it's Brian Daly because the Veritex are mostly in Valkyrie form.
Right, yeah.
He does not go for that Jerwalk mode.
That's all the other guy.
Yeah. Right.
What was the other guy's name?
James Luceno.
Luceno's all about Guardian mode.
Well, that's all I have for minute number 107. I'm assuming you guys also don't have anything else, but you can correct me if I'm wrong.
I did. Luceno. I was like, wait a minute, that name sounds familiar. And Luceno has been doing a lot in especially in Star Wars. He wrote...
sounds like an off-Broadway play, especially in Star Wars, the one-man play.
He wrote Tarkin and Catalyst, a Rogue One story.
I read those.
Yeah, and a lot of... he wrote the New Jedi Order books and stuff like that.
So the Jack McKinney years were kind of the transition between Brian Daly being the main guy.
I'm just saying I'm suspicious. So now that you mention it, I'm suspicious.
Yes.
He also, Alex, for your benefit, he wrote, not for your benefit, but he wrote
for your consideration.
He wrote the novel detailing the history of the Millennium Falcon. But I think that's legend. I think it's pre-canon, but he wrote the first book in new canon, which was Tarkin.
That's cool.
I tried reading Tarkin. I didn't care for it.
No, I told you I bailed on Tarkin when he says who when he sort of should have said whom, and I was like,
yeah, I think
Tarkin
you gave
of
me
all
your
people.
copy.
Yeah, I did. Probably.
Give me more free books
with atrocious grammar in them.
I've tried to correct my mailing address with the publishing.
Like, you must go to the library.
Random House like a million times, and it never updates. So
I was reading a book and somebody used the phrase "the die is cast," and they spelled die D-Y-E.
Huh.
And I was like, "Is that?" And I couldn't tell if I was dumb all along, and now I was finally learning that, or whether this person made a mistake, and I was smarter than them.
Yeah, I think it's the latter.
The other one was
their editor.
Either way, it's somebody should get fired for that. Fired. And second of all, I was watching a YouTube video about movies, and someone was referring to Warner Brothers as Warner Bros.
I'm sure this is someone who's half our age.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I'm guessing they were just reading Warner Bros. And just saying it as if it was one word, because I don't think they were saying it like as to be funny. They were saying, yes, the Warner Bros. Studio did this, and I was like,
yeah,
they're bros.
Anyway.
Warner.
So what happens when you get old is you start to see like,
Yeah, I was gonna say get used to it. It's gonna more and more
right.
stuff's gonna happen. Yeah, like I was at work and I made a joke about too many people in a hotel room, and I was like, hey, the Bad News Bears had like 15 kids in one room or something. And these two guys were like talking. They're like, what's Bad News Bears? And the other guy was like, I think it's just like sort of a term, like you're out of luck. Like, I guess it's Bad News Bears. we got no room tonight. I'm like, wow.
You're just like, yep, that was it.
That's what it means. Yeah. So I don't know. We are old now.
I thought they were going to say that's that movie by who's the remake they did.
Linklater did one.
Linklater, yeah, he did one.
Oh yeah,
he did the one, I think, right?
Well, the original one was like 1972 or something.
Yeah,
that wasn't.
No, but it's just funny because it was almost like it's to them it was like sour grapes. It was like sour grapes.
Yeah,
Bad News Bears.
Rorschach was in one of those.
Oh yeah,
Rorschach?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, not the actor, the actual character. It was a weird spin-off they did.
Product placement.
But, yeah, Herm. He hit a Herm run. Anyway, that will wrap up minute number 107. And hey, did you know we're on the social media? You can follow the show at Star Wars Minute on the Twitter, at The Star Wars Minute on Instagram. And do we have another one? Do we have a TikTok going?
We get with we usually say the Reddit or Star Wars Minute.
That's right.
And StarWarsMinute.com/Facebook takes you to the Facebook, the Star Wars Minute Listener Society on Facebook.
You guys have any social networks you want to plug here?
I'll plug my TikTok.
All right. Adam?
John Skrizzo, JohnSkrzo. Got a new video once a year.
Oh, nice.
And how far are we from the annual release?
Like 2 years.
you still owe 2 years back.
Yeah, I've been doing lots of backlog
TikTok.
of cat videos. So I'll release them all.
All right.
But that's about it. I don't have anything else.
Adam?
I got nothing, man.
All right, then. Plug your Meerkat or your
my Meerkat.
What was the other one? I try to bring up all the defunct social media.
Oh,
apps.
yeah.
There's Meerkat. What was the one that everybody bailed to for like a week and then they all left again?
Oh, right. It was like the alternate to Facebook.
Right.
Butt book.
Butt book. The complete opposite.
Yeah.
Friendster was fun.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
Friendster started it all. Well, not all, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't remember what the list of defunct social media things is huge. And
If you want to buy some film photography prints, go to filmonawhim.com. Help me pay for more film.
do that.
Too damn expensive.
Yeah, plug that stuff. Your photos are great, Adam.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
All right, we'll do that and join us here tomorrow for another brand new Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars Minute. Why didn't you praise my photos, guys?
Yik yak.
Never seen one.